Back now on EA Sports at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. We're in quarter number 2, and it's the Lions who are in possession of the football. The final shot before the break. Watson. He dumps it off to Barkley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Odell Beckham, well over 100-yard receiving with 3 touchdown catches. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Chris Godwin, a touchdown catch in the victory. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Dak Prescott, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who was the star of the first half. His guys have the lead as we get back over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa and rejoin Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Returning it, John Ross. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
On 1st down, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, Williams. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the gun on third down. Peck, wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands...
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Go jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a two-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Green 39.
To throw on 3rd down. Peck. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A good return there, 17 yards, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other bats in the league.
Flush to his right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Richmond.
From the gun, here's Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Gonna need something special here on third and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to... let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Swarm in and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on 3rd down. Pack. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And as a quick little completion, got the job done for a 1st down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, we're into the 2nd half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
To throw on 2nd down. Peck. This complete left side to Aguilar. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Peck. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Eric Armstead in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Now Ross to return. Avoids him at the 40.
But whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Richmond. Two jet.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Lions add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Zerline out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.